Your dreams be dreams.
Yesterday, you said tomorrow. So just do it. Make your dreams come true.
Don't let your dreams be dreams. Alright guys, welcome back to Tipsy Tailgate Media. This is the Tipsy Tailgate podcast. It's me, Aiden.
I'm Ben.
And Sal, we're in the studio.
We are in the studio. As you guys can probably tell, if you're watching this on YouTube, if you're watching this on Spotify or Apple Podcasts, then go over to YouTube if you want. We finally have video and cameras, and it's awesome. The setup is unreal. We're really excited about it. But without further ado, let's get into some action. You know, we just started last night. It's Friday. Last night was the Dolphins and the Bengals, and everyone's talking about it.
Yeah.
Tua Tagovailoa. Unreal injury. It's I think it was a neurological thing they're saying right now. He froze up. His hands went still. He locked up. The injuries, it's a terrible looking injury, and the worst part about it is that last week he had a similar thing. Got up, almost went down, got up again, almost completely collapsed. They pulled him from the game, and he ended up coming back into that game, and they ended up winning. But there was even a chance that he wasn't playing this week, and now he is playing, did play, and then re-injured himself, and it just seems like the NFL and the Dolphin staff is in very, very hot water right now. What do you think?
Yeah, they're idiots for letting him play.
Straight up.
Obviously, just so stupid. I never agree with anything that Stephen A. Smith says, but I just saw a clip of him on Instagram, I believe it was, saying that whoever cleared him should be fired, and I agree. It was awful. Awful sight.
Unexcusable.
Terrible look for the league, too, and I forget who it was. I saw on Twitter, they said that, no, I think it was Shannon Sharp on Undisputed this morning, said that the commissioner was in the stadium, too. And it's an awful look for the league. I would say that the last 2 weeks, even Tua being able to play last week was obviously a terrible look for the league. So the NFL's got to be in hot water. As you just said, they got to be in hot water. It's inexcusable the way they're letting things go right now.
Yeah, and going off that, the major thing right now is if you're on Twitter or anything, all you see is doctors coming out saying shouldn't have played, he shouldn't have been cleared, all this different stuff. And, it comes to the point where, they said he has feeling in all of his extremities and that he is going to go on the flight today, the team flight, which, is a great sign that he's doing well. But that is a situation where we've seen people in the past get paralyzed, get serious life-threatening. This is football, It's not a non-contact sport. This is as contact as it gets. Mm-hmm. And that injury was, we saw it. We watched it live. We were in kind of shock. Honestly, it was hard to watch.
Yeah.
And then the broadcast played it 15 more times.
Yeah.
Slow-mo, all that.
No, and I don't want this to be taken the wrong way because obviously prayers to Tua after that horrible injury. I am nowhere near a Tua Tagovailoa fan at all. I'm not a fan of his. I'm a Patriots fan. They're a rival. That broke my heart seeing that last night. That was a terrible sight.
All right, well, let's get into some Week 3 NFL recap. We're going to go into Week 3 recap, and then right after that, we're going to go into Week 4 outlook. And then we've got a little bit of a trade alert in the in the fantasy football
Historic
league.
trade.
Yeah,
So
I got to switch to me because that was an absolute fleece. So,
well, we'll touch on that in a couple minutes here. Benny, if you want to take over with the Week 3 recap.
Obviously the Dolphins, big win over the Bills, 21-19. That was huge for the Dolphins, obviously before last night, before their season potentially ended, losing their starting quarterback. But we will touch upon that a bit later. The Titans beating the Raiders. Raiders 0-3. McDaniels' experiment may be failing. Big meeting with Davis after the game. Fly, Eagles, fly. 24-8. Diz, you're looking right about the Eagles.
Let's go.
The Bears, Fields still, he's a horrible quarterback, but they won. The Rams look like they're back on track with a big win over the Cardinals. The Pats with more of an ankle breaker than a heartbreaker of a loss, losing Mac Jones in the process. The Colts, big win over the Chiefs. Maybe they're back on track as well. The Packers beating a middle school football team, 14-12, pack of losers. And then the Jaguars, listen, hey, I had them at 7 wins. I'm boosting it up to 9 or 10. The Jaguars are for real. I think they could be a wild card team. But a big win over the Chargers, 38-10. But yeah, Aiden, let's get into the next topic here. I think it was the trade.
Well, let's touch on week 4 real quick. So, as we just mentioned, Tua went down. Teddy Bridgewater came in, didn't play terrible, didn't play great, just a whatever game, you know.
Yeah.
They ended up
He's
losing.
good though. I think
No, I agree.
Without Tua, I think they would be just fine. I wouldn't say
Yeah, in terms of backups, he's at the top. I'd say.
Yeah.
No, I would qualify him as a first-string quarterback in the NFL. Obviously, he didn't look like it last night, but listen, he's been getting second-string snaps through training camp, through the regular season.
Yeah, and as much as they say, "Oh, we trust Tua, we're sticking with Tua," you knew that in the back of their head, getting Teddy was an insurance.
That's a great security blanket, having Teddy Bridgewater back there.
Second to maybe Jimmy G, but Jimmy G doesn't even deserve to be a backup,
yeah.
really.
And
he's not anymore.
To me, it's a similar situation. I think the Niners are better off with Jimmy G, given the fact that they've been to a Super Bowl and an NFC championship with him. But I think the Dolphins are in a similar boat with Teddy Bridgewater. I don't see too much of a drop-off. I still see them winning 10 or 11 games and, potentially making a good playoff run if Tua were to be out for the whole year.
Agreed. Some of the next games for this week, we've got the Vikings and the Saints. The Saints are now without Jameis Winston and Michael Thomas.
In
They
London.
announced that in London. That's an early game, I believe.
It's also a 9:30 a.m. game in America, which means that Kirk Cousins will likely be on fire, given that most people won't be watching.
That's true. That's true. Next game we'll highlight Seahawks-Lions. I'm going to give a couple picks here, too. I'm going Lions money line. I liked them. I had them last week. Kind of disappointed me right at the end, but they were winning all game. Jets-Steelers. We've got another game that should be interesting to watch. I mean, Zach Wilson's back, right?
Zach Wilson is back.
I cannot wait for that.
Jet man, you want to take your reins?
Yeah, the Jets are going to win this game. Jets are going to win this game.
I don't put it past them. I think if the Jets win, I think Kenny Pickett comes in next week.
I think Zach Wilson throws 3 picks and they lose.
They're going to win this game.
I disagree.
It's a tough defense to come back to.
I disagree.
They're lucky Watt's out, but then we got the Bears-Giants. Giants, of course, started off hot.
Listen, the Giants got a really good chance to go 3-1 to start off the season here.
Their wide receivers
kind of a cakewalk
brutal.
So far. Yeah, their wide receivers are terrible.
Easiest they've by far have had the easiest schedule in the league, but in all honesty, I don't know if you were doing it with us, but me and Sal before the season went through a lot of team schedules, and we had the Giants at 0-4.
I had the Giants winning 2 games the whole
season. So
yeah,
all credit to them, because I think they will be 3-1 after this week. So they made us look like jackasses.
Good for them. Then we got the Titans and the Colts. I'm sticking with my gut on the beginning of the year. I'm going Colts money line.
Yeah, no, I think the Colts figured something out last week.
Agreed. Chargers Texans. Chargers are really banged up. So banged up. I'm not too proud of this pick, but I'm going Texans plus 5.5 or plus 5.
I like that.
A little borderline.
I can't fault you.
They always stay close.
I can't fault you. And
Davis Mills is good.
No, I agree.
Stay close.
I think this might sound a little crazy, but obviously I think Trevor and Mac are better than Davis Mills. I think Davis Mills could be the 3rd best quarterback in that draft class. And honestly, there are days where he looks better than Mac.
Yeah, you're definitely stepping on toes with Zach Wilson.
I don't care. I do not care.
I think you get the Trey Lance one easily.
All I know is that Davis Mills will be on the Texans next year, and I don't think Zach Wilson will be on the Jets.
That is a season long or maybe 2 season long thing that you've been going on with.
Yeah,
about Zach Wilson.
And I'm standing by it. I think Zach Wilson blows. Blows.
The thing with him, he's been hurt.
I don't care.
He's been hurt.
Now it's his time to shine. We'll kind of figure it out over the next couple weeks.
Just not a fan.
Browns.
Oh no, really?
You couldn't tell by that. We've got the Browns Falcons. Then we've got Commanders Cowboys. Cooper Rush, baby.
The Gold Rush.
Rush.
The Gold Rush. Cooper Rush, baby.
Him.
He is him.
He is.
He's a beast.
That's gonna be interesting when Dak comes back.
Okay, no. I think it's Dak's job.
He's coming back
Why?
soon, though, I believe.
Because Dak's a way better quarterback.
Dak, you watch the Cowboys games in depth every week? Because I think Dak sucks.
Oh my god!
I think
I cannot stand when
shitty.
people say Dak Prescott is a great quarterback.
I like
a
Dak.
Great quarterback.
I like
He's
Dak,
sloppy.
but I think there is a little bit of a feeling that the offense just flows a little bit better with Cooper Rush right now. But with that said, he didn't have that much.
We saw Dak play one game this year.
1 quarter.
One game. We saw Dak play one game, and it was against the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, who are the best scoring defense in the league right now.
Of course, yeah.
So let's not hold it against Dak that he didn't put up that many points in week 1.
Do you think the injury to the throwing hand is something that might affect him?
No, the guy's ankle snapped off of his leg, and he came back and threw like 38 touchdowns.
True.
I'm not worried about it.
No, that's true. Let's move on. Jags and the Eagles.
Jaguars.
I can't pronounce it. I'm sorry.
The Jaguars.
Southern Diz.
The Jags. Eagles.
I'm taking the Jags this weekend. I'm high on the Jags. I think they're great.
I think it's cool.
I think Doug Peterson going back to Philly, I think that's a great recipe for success for the Jaguars.
Listen, I'm cool with that. I think that's a really good call. I'm not betting it, but I do like that one. Bills, Ravens, that should be a showdown of probably the top 2 quarterbacks in the entire league.
Listen, this is a scary matchup for the Bills. If they fall to 2-2, that with all these expectations that they had at the beginning of the year, that's not good. And this would be a big win for Lamar's MVP case this early in the season.
Agreed. And he's probably been the favorite.
Yeah, he's the favorite right now.
Yeah. Cardinals, Panthers. I feel like you got to take the Cardinals here, right, to pick them. Cardinals -1.
I don't know why that's a pick 'em.
I don't know, but I'm on it.
I'm
not, and I don't like the Cardinals either. But
yeah, the Cardinals kind of suck.
No, the Cardinals suck, but the Panthers blow.
I think Kyler will just will them to win a close win. I don't think they're gonna blow them out.
I think Cliff Kingsbury should be fired.
Yeah, I don't like.
And I don't think Kyler Murray's that good, but I still think that Cliff Kingsbury should be fired.
I agree.
The Cardinals will be good this month because the new Call of Duty comes out next month. So then,
no, that's it.
And they still haven't been that good.
Yeah. So then Kyler's got to take his talents elsewhere.
Oh yeah.
Next up, Broncos Raiders. This one's interesting
That's
because
right.
the Raiders have the chance to fall to 0-4. I'm going Broncos here though. I'm going Broncos money line. I think that they're slowly piecing it together. And while I do think the Raiders are slowly maybe progressing as a team, I don't know. I just have a feeling.
Okay, so coming into the season, I was very much off of the Broncos and very much I was in full-blown Raider fever, right? I love the Raiders. I think I love the Raiders more than anyone in our friend group coming into this season because I love McDaniels, I love Derek Carr, I love Devontae Adams, I love Darren Waller. I love Renfro. So I was very much into the Raiders, but I have to change my tune on the Broncos. And it sounds weird after they only scored 11 points and basically only won because Jimmy G took that horrendous safety.
Yeah.
They figured something out at the end of that game.
It.
That was a ballsy drive at the end by Russell Wilson.
Russell Wilson's post-game interview.
Let's ride. Let's ride. Listen, I'm riding with the Broncos.
I'm taking the Raiders in the game.
I think they're figuring something out. I could see them losing this weekend. And I'm going to keep going back to this point where all-time great quarterbacks, when they go to a new team, they start 500 in the first 6 games.
They are 2-1.
They're 2-1, but they could go 2-2. I think they will be 2-2 because the Raiders are due for a win, and the Broncos haven't figured it out yet. But projecting it for the rest of the season, I could see the Broncos winning 10 games.
I honestly think nobody really wants to take the Raiders, but I just think everyone's taking them because they can't see them going 0-4.
Well, listen,
I can't.
That's what I'm saying.
And
what if we rewinded to the before the season? I told you the Raiders were going to start off 0-4.
Yeah, exactly.
I'd call you an idiot.
I don't see it.
And listen,
McDaniels. I still like Derek Carr and Devontae Adams. I don't.
You gotta like that group.
I don't.
I heard Devontae Adams is frustrated.
No.
Yeah.
Derek wasn't looking his way the last 2 weeks at all.
I think
at all.
Yeah.
Was not looking his way.
Stuck on him. Well, I don't know. That's gonna be an interesting game. That's at 4:25 this Sunday.
Another thing about that game, Aiden, McDaniels knows his job is on the line after that hour-long meeting with Davis last week, so he knows that he needs to get some wins together. But I hope they lose so that he comes back to New England.
Yeah.
Dumpster fire in Gillette Stadium.
We were talking about that, and we'll probably touch on that.
Unbelievable.
We're going to touch on that a little bit later, actually. But yeah, that's actually a true statement right there. We want them to lose, maybe 0-6, get fired.
Go 0-8.
Right back. We'll take them.
Why? So he could help out Brian Hoyer?
I love Brian Hoyer.
Mac will be back at some point.
Hoyer for MVP. No.
It's more about next year at this point than this year.
Just the system.
It is.
It is, yeah.
It is.
When your franchise quarterback's out for 8, listen, you don't know what it's like to have a franchise quarterback. So When you get one, you'll understand.
Okay.
If he's hurt for half the year, it's a rebuild season, and then you go into the next
I felt
year.
the same when Sam got mono. It was it was devastating.
Let's move on.
Patriots, Packers. Obviously, Brian Hoyer will be starting.
Yeah, do we need to touch on this one?
No.
really?
This game.
No.
The one interesting thing though is
No.
the
No, we're not. No.
the Packers
No.
are-
No.
They're 9.5.
We're moving on.
They're
We're moving on.
They're
We're
9.5
moving
points.
on. Aiden, we're moving on.
He's always got to do something. He's always got to say
Aiden,
something.
we're moving on.
Okay, we're moving on.
We're moving on.
We're moving on. The next game.
I'm not even gonna watch that
Chiefs.
game. It's gonna be the first Patriots game of my life. I'm just not gonna watch.
We got
I'm
the-
so
the
happy they're
Chiefs
not
Bucks.
on the same time as the Jets, so we can
Oh
finally just
God.
we can watch the Jets, a
That's
good
real.
football team.
Wait. What time is it? 4:25. I'm
Yeah.
busy. I'm
You're
busy.
busy. Okay. You got plans.
too. With the Chiefs Bucks. I'm still on the wave that the Bucks are a little too hurt on the offensive
Yes,
side.
I agree.
I'm kind of riding Chiefs, but at the same time,
I am too.
I am not surprised if
Yeah,
the Bucks.
I think.
No,
the Chiefs,
I
are
think
gonna smack
I
them
think the Chiefs losing to the Colts last week is gonna motivate them even more
Yeah.
to just
Of
kick
course,
the
yeah,
shit
I
out
don't
of the
have
Bucks
fancy
this
games
week.
too, that's true. And then last game, there's actually 2 Sunday night games again. No, wrong. That's a Monday night game. Rams 49ers.
Rams for. I'm gonna go with the Niners.
I mean, they got to figure it out offensively.
I mean, listen, I think Jimmy G
Flat out.
took too much shit last week because
Kittle might be back too.
well,
right?
Kittle's gonna be back, and Jimmy G wasn't getting starting reps until last week.
Did Kittle play last week?
No, I don't think so. He hasn't played yet this season. I don't believe.
I can't remember if he might
I don't think.
play.
I don't think he did. Let me check.
Double check that.
I'm gonna check that.
Because I personally don't know, but regardless of whether George Kittle played last week, the
Yeah,
only reason
he played last week.
Oh, he did.
but he didn't he was on limited snaps though, I believe.
Yeah.
But
4 catches, 28 yards.
regardless of that, Jimmy G needs more time with that offense. I know it sounds crazy because he's been there for 4 years now, but he needs more time. He wasn't even allowed to practice with the team for like 5 months. So I think the Niners will be fine. People have to step off and relax a little bit. Niners are going to make a deep run this year.
You know what I find so funny about that, and I know it's like Trey Lance was 3rd overall.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So they have this like thing where
Traded up for him.
yeah, they have this thing where it's like, yeah, Trey Lance, we have to watch him, but if Jimmy G somehow goes in, we're a Super Bowl team.
Yeah.
So why isn't Jimmy G just starting the season?
That's what I said.
I know it's your 3rd overall pick.
Because you know what they want? They want the Jimmy G. No, they want the Trey Lance factor that he comes in and all of a sudden he takes the Mahomes where he's just boom and now they're like dynasty level.
Well, listen,
and he hasn't done it.
I will stand by the fact that the Niners should have taken Mac Jones. I don't care what anybody says. That's
think
what their plan
I think
was.
Shanahan wanted him.
I think Mac
Everyone
Jones
else
is
didn't.
literally an upgraded Jimmy Garoppolo, which is exactly what Kyle Shanahan needs. Regardless of his talent level and how he's not as talented as those other guys, I don't think Lynch had the balls to take a guy who was less talented than the other quarterbacks at 3. But I will stand by that. I think Jones should have been taken 3rd by the Niners.
I do think that you put Mac Jones on any of those other teams that selected quarterbacks, like the Jaguars or the Jaguars.
No, the only other team he
Jets?
would have succeeded on was the Niners. It was the Niners
Yeah,
and the Patriots.
100%.
Those were the
Like,
only 2 teams.
Mac Jones would suck on the Jets.
Yes, I agree
Terrible.
with that.
I agree.
I agree with that.
All right, so let's get into our trade. We had a little, like we mentioned before, we had a little interleague trade between me and Ben. Here's what it entailed of. Benny?
No, all right, so before you do the trade, you need some timestamps. You need to include
all right.
what time this happened, when it happened.
All right,
and
so
everything.
the talks
An hour before Thursday Night Football.
The talks commenced at 5. The trade serious discussions were 6:30, and I believe at 7:30 the deal got done. This is last night. Monday night or Thursday Night Football was 8:15. So 30 minutes give or take, the deal was done, and this is what it was. Ben traded me Lamar Jackson, Michael Pittman, David Montgomery, and Miles Sanders. And I gave Ben Austin Eckler, James Robinson, Devonta Smith, and Tua Tagovailoa. As you know, and as we just touched on, 30 minutes later, maybe 60 minutes later, Tua literally got stretchered off.
I think everybody's bugging about Tua because Tua's literally the last thing I needed in the trade.
He wasn't even in the trade originally.
I didn't even want him in the trade at first.
Well, who's your quarterback?
No, I'm gonna pick up Jared Goff.
Okay.
So like I'm literally gonna be
good.
fine. I might have the three of the top 6 running backs in this league.
And this is why I've been saying. So the original
Like
trade,
everyone's freaking out
the original
about
trade,
my trade for no reason.
No. First they said I got fleeced.
Yeah. No. Okay. Okay. For context in our league is a joke.
You gotta give some
It is
background.
Joke.
It is an absolute joke.
It is a joke.
If you pass gas, it could get vetoed in that league. It's a joke. I've never been in a league with people who know zero football and think they know football. No one in this league knows football at all. Outside of maybe 3 people.
It's true.
And I think 2 of them are in this room. Sorry, Sal.
Whoa! Yeah, we're
All
gonna
jokes.
have to,
All jokes.
Yeah, we're gonna.
But-
So then, if that's the case, then why am I on the podcast right now?
Bro, it was a joke, all right? Jesus, so sensitive. So sensitive. But people freak out about trades, and then if anything happens, it turns into Fleece.
Yeah.
The league's a joke. I've never enjoyed being in a fantasy league less.
No,
It's awful.
Yeah,
It
you're
does
still
get
making
rough.
trades. You want to be competitive, so
so
I get that. Who's Owen? Who's Owen?
Let me step in here. So
Because there's an Owen.
I do want to address the elephant in the room. I am 0-3, but it's BS because I'm the second highest point scorer in the entire league, and I've allowed people have scored, I think, 30 more points on me than the second most points against team. So basically, I've been getting screwed. Second highest scorer, the most points scored against by like 30 points, whatever it is. 0-3. So I did need to. I mean, I don't even think I needed to make the move, but I wanted to upgrade at quarterback.
Well, also-
but what's your record?
I'm 0-3.
No, but let's also give Aiden credit where he now has the Lamar Jackson Andrews connection.
Yeah, and
That's double points on like 2
So-
touchdowns a game.
and another thing. So
And
I
you willingly gave that up.
Because I had no chance to get Mark Andrews.
going
I needed to improve at
Yeah.
running back. I'm fine at receiver.
going
That-
back
he's-
to what Ben said though just before. The reason why I was so hesitant for a while, because it looked like it might not have happened for like about an hour of that, was because I realized he was gonna have Jonathan Taylor, Austin Eckler. Those are either the first 2 draft picks or 2 of the first 3.
Yo, but they kind of suck.
Who?
But
Not-
they'll figure it out.
It's been 3 weeks. It's been 3
weeks, and
They'll figure
fantasy
it out.
football this year is shit.
Yeah.
I
But
then-
hate fantasy
yeah.
But
football.
then here's the other thing. Then I also give him James Robinson, who's been the 3rd best running back in the
That's
entire
so
league in
dumb.
fantasy.
Why is James Robinson the 3rd best running back in fantasy
I
football
know.
right now?
So
Okay, regardless, everyone's gonna try to chirp me about making this trade and then Tua getting hurt. I do not care. God bless Tua.
Do the Mike Tomlin. We do not care.
We do not care. God bless Tua.
It's
I hope he's
true.
fine.
yeah,
I do not need him on my team.
and I could have.
Tua can be interchangeable with about 5 quarterbacks who are currently in free agency in our league, and I wasn't going to win this week anyway because Michael Thomas is out.
Yeah.
So I made this trade knowing I wouldn't win this week and that I could pick up another quarterback off of free agency, and I could pick up Jared Goff, Derek Carr, Jameis is going to be back at some point.
Yeah.
All guys who are going to have similar statistics to Tua.
And so because I realized he was gonna have those 3 running backs, and that was just like insane. I was getting Rashad Bateman instead of Miles Sanders. I was able to get him to flip. Ben gave me Sanders instead of Bateman. I flipped Sanders to another member of the league for Clyde Edwards-Helaire.
When did you do this?
I did this last night as well.
What?
Right after. You didn't see it?
That flew under the radar.
Whoa!
That flew under the radar.
Whoa!
Check. I
Who
did
would
it
give
30
up?
minutes after.
Who would give up Clyde? Who would do
Don't-
that? Was that
Correct
Monty?
me if I'm wrong. Don't we vote on every single trade?
It went through.
Was that Monty?
I don't remember voting on a Clyde Edwards-Helaire.
Look
trade.
at it.
I don't remember
It was
seeing
And
it.
I know I did not vote on that.
Oh, I mean, it went through.
You're the commissioner. That's
didn't-
why it
no,
fucking went through.
I didn't push because I didn't push. I pushed.
So it went
our
through
one
because
up.
everyone voted on it.
No,
How?
I don't
so
think.
how did it go through?
I don't think anyone saw it.
I think it just. Yeah, I think it just
Wow.
floated under and it went through.
What was it again?
That's wild.
I gave Miles Sanders for Clyde Edwards.
I mean, let's be honest. Is it really that big of a deal? Like,
I don't know. Edwards-Helaire was on his bench,
But-
and Sanders would start for him. He said so. He did it.
Wait, who is this with?
Ben.
Redling.
Yeah, I mean, I just don't. I don't know why he would do that.
I don't know. I mean,
I don't see much of a difference between those two. Guys. I'm gonna be honest.
I think
I don't think it's too much. The one thing
who's better right now, Miles Sanders?
No,
Miles Sanders is on my team, and he socked. He socked.
He had to give
Hilaire's
week 1.
So Sanders has been getting yards, can't find the end zone for the life of him.
Which I think
Hilaire's been
that will
the
change.
opposite. Hilaire's been the opposite. Hilaire can't get yards really. Maybe
But he's only getting touchdowns in the red zone.
Yeah. So that's what I said. I basically doing this trade and trading 2 of these top backs leaves me with Javonte Williams, and then for my RB2, I have options, but if now Edwards-Hilaire, if he can get me a touchdown and 50 yards, 13, 14 points a week, that's all I need. So I'm happy with what I did.
Just a calm 13, 14 points a week. Like you said it like it's so easy.
Yeah, no, it's just to score a touchdown. He had 0 yards last week, 7 carries, and he finished with like 15 points.
Who? Clyde?
Yeah,
he had what? Two touchdowns?
No, he scored. I think he scored 1 touchdown on, I guess, 0 yards. He probably lost yards.
Well, it's literally because if Mahomes gets in trouble and Kelsey's getting like
Just
tripled on a
dumps
play,
off.
just dumps it off.
He gets 3 or 4 catches a game.
Hilaire.
Yeah.
He had, I think he had a receiving touchdown a couple weeks ago, whatever it was.
One thing that I also think gets overshadowed is that Andy Reid's very good with running backs. Aiden,
Yeah.
we talked about this a couple weeks ago.
Yep.
And the only reason he wasn't using him was because Andy Reid had Mahomes, Tyreek, and Kelsey for 3 years.
Yeah.
So he had no use for a running back. I think Hilaire's going to have a great season here. I
have him in another league, so I figured I might as well.
So you got him all over. You got him all over Clyde
a little
Edwards-Hilaire.
bit. A little bit. But
I
yeah.
still can't. How did that trade just go under the rug?
I didn't even notice that.
Like, what
I was
time
on
did that happen?
like 20 minutes after I did the trade with Ben.
And we
Jesus.
no one. Did you see it, Ben?
No.
I was
the one
I'm
I
under-
saw was
yeah.
I saw Monty told me that you were trying to trade with him, and I was like, don't do that.
Oh yeah, so he didn't want to. He didn't want to trade Jamar Chase, and then I traded Eckler,
Who played like? Didn't he play like shit last night?
He had like
Chase?
one garbage time
No,
deep
he had a
catch.
big
Oh,
catch.
he
He had a
did.
big catch.
Actually, no, he had another good catch too. And then I traded Eckler, and then he texted me I wanted Eckler, and I was like, okay, but like you didn't want to trade Jamar. All right, so either way,
Do you think T Higgins is gonna have a better season this year?
Then Jamar Chase?
Yes.
Absolutely
no,
not.
I think Jamar's gonna
Not
have
a
a better
chance.
year.
Not
I
a
think,
chance.
yeah. I've still been on the wave where I'd never reach for a T Higgins when I can get a Tyler Boyd 3 or 4 rounds later. In my opinion, I don't think Higgins has the pop ability 100%, and Boyd doesn't have that.
He's good.
But he also has the bust ability.
I love
and I
watching-
think Boyd is always consistent.
I love watching the
Big Boyd
Bengals.
guy.
They do this play every single time. It's just a little fade route right over to T Higgins, and he just takes off.
Yeah.
Takes
No,
off.
Higgins is electric.
Well, the Bengals offense is just it's fucking sick.
yeah.
It's so sick.
Well, for a while there, maybe the first quarter, halfway through the first quarter, Burrow did not look good, and then he started connecting, and then of course what happened with Tua happened,
yeah.
and the game switched.
It was
Bros,
so
I think we
weird.
gotta move on from
Yeah.
fantasy.
Let's touch
Yeah.
on.
I want to touch on Burrow though.
Go ahead.
We were watching the game and we were talking about it, and I'm sitting there and I'm like, oh sorry, I had to switch the camera real
There
quick.
we go.
Yeah, no, the guy on TV, I'm sitting there, I'm like, yo, he's so slow. Like Joe Burrow, like I think he's so slow. And the guy gets on the mic, he's like, yeah, Joe Burrow's like one of the most mobile quarterbacks in the NFL, and like just completely shut me down. I do think he's very mobile, but like when he takes off and he runs, I think he's slow as shit.
No, the
You
thing
think
about
it's
it,
because of his injury.
it's probably the knee, but he's also such a cool brother that I think he's just going
Yeah,
through the motions
Joe
out
Shiesty
there.
is awesome. He's so
He's-
cool.
he's a
I love
He's
that.
the man.
I didn't
I
know
love
you. I didn't know he
that,
was chill like that.
That post
He's
before the
just
game, it
chilling.
was like he was walking out of the tunnel with the white jerseys, and they were like, "Yeah, the Bengals are so winning this game."
Oh yeah,
And it
no.
was so true.
Did you see
like,
what he said the other day though? They were like, "What do you feel about the new uniforms?" He's like, "I'd go out there in a trash bag if I had to."
That's great. So let's move on to where we were right and where we were wrong. NFL edition through week 3.
How many teams we given here, Aiden?
I think we just give takes in general. Let's
Okay.
do. Let's
You
do 2 or
kept
3.
receipts.
I kept receipts.
Robert Sala.
I could-
We're keep. Yeah, I just have to throw that in there. Robert Sala. We're keeping
keeping
receipts.
receipts. I also kept my receipts for my bet slips for the Eagles.
Oh.
And Jalen Hurts, because that is where I've been right so
Fly
far.
Eagles fly.
They've been electric. Jalen Hurts has been a top 3 MVP candidate, maybe 2, probably 3.
Yeah, top
It's
3.
it's Lamar and
It's Lamar, Allen, then him.
Allen.
I'd say.
Yeah, so I'd say 3.
And two, I would put Tua ahead of Jalen Hurts if he didn't get hurt last night.
Yeah, if he had a full game under him.
You got to give him credit. I don't think Tua's that good, but you got to give him credit. Like,
I
he's been
understand.
phenomenal so far.
Look at what he has around him also.
Yeah, but look what Josh Allen has around him. Look.
Like, he's got
only
his
one-
running backs suck, though.
But the only one.
So does Tua's. But, like, when you have Tyreek Hill and Jalen Waddle, I'd hope you'd be decent.
The only guy in the MVP discussion right now that you can say he isn't on a loaded offense is Lamar Jackson, and he still has Mark Andrews, who might be the best tight end in the league.
Yeah.
To
I agree.
to,
All right,
to
well-
keep it fair.
With that said, that's where I've been right. The Eagles, I was slept on by these two. I'm looking at you two.
I still think they
And,
suck. I'm gonna be honest with you.
Yeah,
I don't think they make a deep run at all.
I'm definitely good off the Eagles. I'm gonna
Okay.
sit there.
If Dak comes back early enough, I could still see the Cowboys snagging that division.
I think everyone.
I was wrong with that when I said that the Cowboys were gonna win the division, but I do think that
I'm gonna stick to my guns on Dak.
So I think the problem here is that you guys, or not even just you guys, but most people are thinking that I'm so high on the Eagles because of their offense. I am higher on the
No, you
Eagles
just like their
because of
odds
their
in DraftKings.
No, because of their defense. I love their defense. I think Darius Slay's the best corner in the NFL.
yeah, he's
I
dirty.
think that their pass rush is very underrated.
Someone was
Their
I said that
linebackers
Darius
are
Slay's a
great.
great corner the other day, and someone was telling me that I was wrong, and I told him to get drug tested.
They should, because
Like,
he's unreal.
He's been amazing.
He locked down Justin Jefferson. I think got 2 picks that game, 1 pick, something
Yeah.
like that, game ending. Basically, that's where I was right. Eagles, Benny, if you want to take over.
I'd say the team where I've been the most right is the Jaguars, and
Yeah,
I don't think I was
right.
right enough on them because, as I said earlier, I got to boost up their win count because they've been phenomenal. There's a complete energy change in that building. I definitely didn't, even though I was right about the Jaguars, I definitely didn't give Doug Peterson the proper credit that he deserved. He's completely changed that culture on the fly. I still don't think that Trevor Lawrence is the best leader as a quarterback.
Yeah.
But that's just more of a testament to Doug Peterson, what he's been able to do with that locker room.
Agreed. So I like that. I'll go into where I was wrong-ish so far. I'd say kind of 2 things. I was very high on the Saints and Jameis Winston. Winston's been hurt, to my credit. He's out this week. You know, he's been banged
I still
up.
don't think we're necessarily wrong on this.
I don't think we're wrong. If we're going as of right now, I'll give myself one a little too high on them.
Definitely a little too high.
Okay, in terms of an individual player, sorry to cut you off, I have to say I was right about Michael Thomas. Everyone said that he wasn't that good anymore. That guy's fucking nasty.
He's not
Yeah,
playing
he's
this
nice.
week. He
Doesn't-
still has
Doesn't
injury
matter.
problems.
Every week he's played, he's gotten a touchdown.
I'm just saying.
Yeah, he
He's-
isn't, and
those,
he just finds
those
the end
injuries
zone.
still linger.
I don't care.
Was that yours? Or you got
No,
another?
I just threw
Okay.
that in there, but keep going with the Saints.
He just cut you off.
No.
I apologize. I apologize.
I'm done with the Saints. So
Oh, okay. So where I was wrong, the Raiders. It just has to be the Raiders. I thought they would be so much better than they are. The offense looks dysfunctional. It's not a typical Josh McDaniels offense right now. They can't run the ball at all. They're not using Devontae properly, or they are. Week 1 they did, but they just right now they can't figure it out where they can use all their weapons at one time.
I think they overdid him week 1, then over-adjusted. It's almost
Yes.
like when you're like teetering into another lane as a driver, and then you over-adjust,
Yes.
and then you're hitting something.
Yes.
You got to
I
just
agree
find
with
the middle point.
And
you got to
they
find
just-
the middle point.
They're not. Josh isn't doing a good enough job either relaying that message to them or teaching them the system, or the players just aren't buying in.
Yeah.
So there's a big problem there in Las Vegas right now.
And then I'm gonna touch on my last where I was wrong-ish again. You know, it's early, so it's not for sure. But the Colts, I thought they were gonna come out very hot. I thought they were gonna come out. So I thought they were gonna.
I
be
still
a
think you're
top
right
5
about them.
team.
I still think you're right.
I still think they're gonna figure it out. I think week by week they're gonna get there. Beating the Chiefs obviously is a great step forward, but I think the big issue there is I think Matt Ryan will figure it out. I think their team's gonna be good. Darius or now Shaq Leonard will be back and he'll be good. The thing that scares me is their wide receiver group. I like Jelani Woods at tight end, and they're finally using him. First 2 catches as an NFL player were touchdowns. But this receiving core, I mean, Michael Pittman's been banged up, and he's amazing. But other than this, Paris Campbell hasn't done anything. They're throwing to – we talked about this last week, right, Ben? They're throwing to The people, I can't even pronounce their name. I can't even remember their name.
Who, the
Colts
Colts?
receivers?
The Colts are a joke
Yeah.
of a receiver group. They have
So,
Michael Pittman, who
yeah.
I would consider an elite receiver,
I like
borderline
Pittman
elite
a lot,
receiver.
yes.
The rest of that receiver group sucks.
I don't know why they
I don't know why they don't
address it.
just bring back T.Y. Hilton.
I don't know why they didn't address it. I think
They should.
I think if this team adds,
T.Y.
if this
from
team
the dead.
adds, if they add like
They're so bad at receiver. They should
an
have
option here.
They should have Reggie Wade like change from a receiver coach to a receiver. Who's so bad?
Who's like a sell at the deadline option for a receiver?
DK Metcalf?
Yeah, or even like a Tyler
AJ
Lockett.
Brown, Debo. They weren't like sell high, but they were definitely all on the block.
If they get Metcalf at halfway point, I'm still feeling good about my pick for Super Bowl.
Yeah, if
Well, they're not my pick for Super Bowl, but I do have bets on them to win the Super Bowl.
The Colts?
Yeah.
I don't know.
I've also dabbled. I've got a bunch of them. I've got a little bit on the Finns. I've got a little bit on.
I really
the
think you're just saying that
Rams,
just because they beat
Eagles.
the Chiefs.
Well, honestly, even
No. I've had this locked in.
I could honestly see the Patriots sending them a guy like Kendrick Bourne, who I think would perform very well.
I hope we
in
keep
Indianapolis.
Kendrick. Maybe we give him.
Who's
give him
Kendrick
Devontae.
Bourne?
You're an idiot.
No, I know
Wants
who
to
he.
go.
I know who he is. I'm just saying, like, you really think that Kendrick Bourne?
No, I'm
takes
saying that
the
receiver
next
group's
level?
so bad that if
Yeah.
you just add in like a quality NFL receiver in there, it would
Well-
make the team that much better.
Well, yeah,
It's that bad right
Um,
now.
Imagine.
How about the Jets give him Denzel Mims?
Yeah, I think they're good off.
I
Maybe-
think no,
maybe-
honestly,
I think they're good off that.
I think the
maybe-
Jets could send them a receiver too if they're selling at the
Maybe-
deadline. The Jets don't have a horrible receiving group.
I really like.
Great.
I really like.
Great's a little
It's
aggressive.
great. We just need a quarterback.
I really like Elijah.
Oh,
Moore.
thank you, thank you,
What?
thank you. You
What?
need a quarterback. Get rid of Zach.
I've been
He
saying we
sucks.
need a quarterback.
Zach sucks.
Benny, if you want to get into your last one, if you do have another one.
Yeah. One more where I was right. I'm sticking with the Chiefs. I think the Chiefs are gonna win the AFC.
Yeah.
They just look great. They had an
do.
off week last week, but they're electric. I have the Chiefs going back to the Super Bowl.
Agreed. So let's get into our too early MVP and then are they legit NFL team edition. I could start with MVP. I'm leaning, I think that the Ravens and their offense is just very, very good with this, the dynamic they have right now with these fast receivers.
Well, Lamar's the offense.
Mark Andrews, and then they have Lamar, who's doing everything. Plus, he's on a contract. He wants to get paid more. He wants to get paid what Watson got paid, and they're not willing to do it. If he goes out there and gives a full, healthy year of an MVP again, I'm going him for MVP. I also think that J.K. Dobbins will take some of the pressure off and the load off of him over the next few weeks when he starts getting going back from that injury. If he could put up 70 yards, maybe handle some of the red zone work, and Lamar could focus more on, scrambling when he needs to rather than every time.
every single play.
Yeah, that will help a lot. I've got Lamar as my early MVP.
Yeah, I got to agree with you. Lamar is clearly the pick for MVP right now, but just for variety's sake, I don't want to. I'm not going to say it. I won't say it. I'll stick with Lamar. I was going to say if the Jaguars go. I'm just saying. Listen,
They are playing really well.
if the Jaguars are like 11-6, this is a very hot take. If the Jaguars are 11-6, which I don't think they will be, I think the Jaguars will probably be anywhere between 8, 9, 10 wins in that area. 10's like the best they can do. But if the Jaguars get in that range of 11 wins, Trevor Lawrence deserves some votes.
It's true. You got a pick?
No, I don't.
But I also think my other pick would be Josh Allen.
Yeah, I mean he's
Like my other serious pick. Trevor Lawrence wasn't like a serious pick. That was like a extremely hot take pick.
yeah.
Yeah.
Josh Allen would be my other
Well,
legit.
Honestly, if
I'm
I
also
did-
not off Jalen Hurts though. as
If
well.
I did have a pick, I'm gonna have to go with Zach Wilson. But for now,
Mute
I'm
his
gonna
mic.
You mean-
Mute his mic.
I'll
The
play it
N-
safe and I'll
MVP?
do Josh Allen.
You're such a loser.
Yeah, Josh Allen MVP.
Let's go off a couple teams here. Are they legit? So we just talked about it. The Jags. Assuming you're a yes.
Yeah, they're legit.
I'm going
Legit in the
yes, too.
sense that they're much better than last year. Not
Yeah.
legit in the sense
No,
of
it's not,
winning a Super
it's not
Bowl or
Super
anything
Bowl. It's
like
not
that.
contender, but legit, yes. I like what they did here. I like how they're James Robinson's been nothing but good since
Yeah.
he's been in this league, and I like
He's
how
so
they're
much better than
incorporating him.
ETN. He
Yeah.
is so much
I
better.
like
than
how they're
ETN.
It's such a
incorporating him.
shame how in fantasy you always drafted ETN.
Yeah, ETN was
Third, fourth round right over James
Everyone
Robinson.
loved him. I think if he played last year, he would have had a great year last year. I think losing that 1 year chemistry with.
Also, let's give Christian Kirk some love.
Oh my God, great
He's
signing.
been phenomenal.
Great.
That's a
signing.
flex.
He's been so good.
Great
He's been
signing.
so good.
He's been electric.
And we were hating Aiden.
Also, another guy.
They paid him so
Evan
much.
Ingram.
Flashback to me and Aiden finding out the Jaguars free agency moves. We were in Cabo San Lucas.
Yes.
And the Jaguars picked up Christian Kirk, Zay Jones, and then who's the third guy?
Did they trade for Evan Ingram or did
No,
they
I think
sign
they
Evan?
signed
Evan Ingram, and then they
Evan Ingram's been
and then
great
they got
as
a
well.
lineman as well.
Yeah. Foy, Olakun, whatever.
I don't even know, but me and Aiden were looking at each other and we were like, dude, what is this team?
Yeah,
doing?
I also
They
think the
spent so much
Jaguars
money.
made the right pick for them.
For. Oh, Walker.
Like, yeah, I think they made the right pick for them. Obviously, Hutchinson's amazing, but they needed a leader on that defense, and
he's like, I was very wrong about that. I think that was just gonna go right under the rug, and like I don't think we've seen it like all yet, but he's good. Like,
no,
he's very.
I never thought
he's
it was
all over the place.
I never thought it was an issue of whether or not he was good. I just think it was an issue of whether or not he was better than Hutchinson, which I still don't think he is. But I think he could be more valuable given his position.
that-
Yeah,
Definitely.
he's everywhere.
Yeah.
I still think that Hutch will be. He should have been the first overall pick. Like
Yes.
in the end of the day. But
Yes.
He had the 3-sack game. Week 2?
Well, honestly, I don't know if I can agree with that because he's the best player on that team. But you've seen it. J.J. Watt was the best player in the league for a 2-year stretch.
Yeah.
And the Texans were dog shit.
Hey.
Dog shit.
He was catching touchdowns.
Yeah, he was doing everything. The fact that Aaron Rodgers won MVP over J.J. Watt in 2014, that's such a joke. Anyone who voted for Aaron Rodgers over J.J. Watt deserves to be fired. You don't know football. You saw a throwing motion. You voted for Rodgers. You're a loser. You're a loser if you voted for that loser. But getting away from that, obviously edge rushers, I don't think they're as valuable. Okay, an elite edge rusher is more valuable than a linebacker. But
about an elite cornerback.
yes, I would say an edge rusher is more valuable. Von Miller's more valuable than okay. Lawrence Taylor's more valuable at his peak than Deion Sanders is at his peak.
Yeah, I'd say that.
Yeah,
I wouldn't
that's
say
fair.
it's by far, but yeah, I'd say yeah. But let's get back on track with the are they legit Colts.
Yeah,
I'm going
They're
to get
legit.
to.
The Colts are not legit.
You know, like
why not?
No, the
Why
Colts
not?
Is it
stink.
because they lost you your money?
I'd say a little bit, but yeah, Matt Ryan isn't it. Matt Ryan is not it.
But to me, it's not about the quarterback on that team.
Yeah, but like
They gotta get that O line.
They gotta get Jonathan
that
Taylor
rushing
going.
attack. Yeah.
They just have to get
that's what I'm
Jonathan
saying.
Taylor
I think
going.
when they get Jonathan Taylor going, they might be legit, but for now, no, they're doing it wrong.
I think that the fact that they beat the Chiefs without having Taylor buzzing last week, I think that
Agreed.
puts more in their stock of being legit.
that was such a weird game, and everyone was like sneaky taking the Colts.
Well, it made sense.
Weird.
Like the Colts weren't gonna go over in the first 3 weeks, regardless of who they were playing. It just wasn't gonna happen. It wasn't the Chiefs' day.
It's true. No.
It just wasn't gonna work out for the Chiefs last week.
What about the Bengals?
100% legit. 100%.
I think they'll get back on track here.
I think even if Tua plays that whole game, they win in the fashion that they did.
I could see that. think it'd be
I was
closer
wrong
than
when
I
I
think
said
too.
the Bengals weren't legit. I think
Yeah, that was stupid. That was stupid.
no. I said that I'm not gonna see Joe Burrow in another Super Bowl, and I'm gonna stand with that.
No, that's stupid.
I think they're a great team. They'll be a contender, but they will not be in the Super Bowl.
Saying that they wouldn't be in the Super Bowl for the next 3 years, like that's one thing. But saying that you're never going to see Joe Burrow in another Super Bowl, I think that's asinine.
All right. Yeah, I mean, like we'll see how it plays out, but
Next up, we've got the Packers.
Pack of fucking frauds. They suck.
They do kind of suck.
They're not that good.
I
They won 14-12, and like all the cheeseheads are like Super Bowl, Super Bowl. Like, sit down, shut up.
Yeah,
you guys stink.
I do think eventually they'll figure out this defense is going to be a top 5 defense. I think eventually, as long as they stay healthy. And then another thing I think they have going for them is that rushing attack is very good. I think it's the 9th ranked in the league right now.
They also have the most overrated player in NFL history, so that's a major
well,
stock down for them.
And then I think Alan Lazard starts getting going.
Not with that
touchdown last
quarterback.
week. Not with that quarterback. They need a backup. They need like
They need Jordan Love to start.
Jordan Love. And then last team here, Broncos.
Legit.
let's ride.
Let's ride. I'm riding with the Broncos. Okay, so they're going to start 500 through the first maybe 8 games, but I think they sneak into the playoffs.
Hey, it's true.
Given how much the AFC's falling apart around them.
I mean, I think we might have seen
the
Herbert already.
Herbert's done. He's way too hurt to play. He's done.
All right, what do you think?
After what happened with Tua and like that whole thing, that might affect the Herbert thing. When Herbert
it should.
What do you think about taking
case,
a bet right now and sprinkling on the Broncos Super Bowl right now?
I wouldn't do it.
No, I'm good. You know what I'll do instead? I'll take out my wallet. I'll take out.
Put it in
how
the
much?
paper
How much? What was your sprinkle? Like $10 or something?
Yeah, like a $10.
Yeah, I'll take $10 and I'll just go throw it in the
Or
garbage.
just donate it.
Same thing.
We'll just donate the money.
No, I wouldn't do it.
Just don't. I'm being such a dick and it's just like just like donate.
No, but the only reason I wouldn't though is there's only one quarterback to go to a new team and win the Super Bowl that year. Like obviously Peyton did it with the Broncos, but not in his first year, and it was Tom Brady, and he's the greatest of all time. And I think that's
Matt Stafford.
Oh, you're right.
It's been 2 in a row, so maybe it's a new.
But I was thinking more quarterback who won on a previous team.
and a different. Okay, yeah.
Frat Stafford.
Dude, he stinks right now. Yeah. He stinks.
The Rams have been disappointing.
They've been a disaster. They don't look good. They do not look
Cam
good.
Akers picked it up a little bit last week, though, which was good.
Yeah. That's like Devin Singletary scoring a touchdown. I don't care. You still stink.
I like Cam Akers.
You don't just take OBJ's number. Like, that was so messed up.
That is kind of annoying.
That was messed up.
OBJ's a bum.
Oh.
All right, so what do we think about, Ben, I think you've got a nice take on this. The Mac Jones injury, when do you think he'll be back? What do you think it means for the Patriots season?
Okay, I think he should be out 6 to 8 weeks. Don't rush him back. I know they were talking about, what was it called, tightrope surgery?
Yeah. From
Alabama that other quarterbacks have gone. I don't want that. I want Mac to take his time. Take your time to get back. I think the offense is way too dysfunctional as it is. He keeps getting smoked. Every time he throws the ball, he gets absolutely smoked.
Sure.
It's not working. The offense isn't working. Matt Patricia is the biggest clown in sports. That guy should be fired. I'm really pissed off at Bill, the way he's handled this whole offseason and the way that he constructed his staff. And I'm worried that he's going to ruin Mac's development. You found a diamond in the rough. No one wanted him, and then you took him at 15, and he was phenomenal last year, named to the top 100 list by the players. So it's not even like the writers voted him to that. It was the players, which lets you know that there's some real credence to it.
That's true.
So yeah, I want Mac to stay out for as long as necessary to get healthy, and then lose some games. If that ends with Bill getting fired, I never thought I would say this, but so be it.
Whoa.
It's just, he's pissing me off.
Wait, timeout. Bill Belichick's getting fired now, Benny?
If he does, the way he's handled this offseason has been egregious. And it's not even like from...
And Aiden, what was the topic you said before? We were like, we're going to do our disappointments and the ones we were right and wrong about? Something like that?
Yeah, where we were right and where we were wrong.
Right, so I'm going to say, yeah, I was definitely right about the Patriots.
I was right about the Patriots, too. I didn't have them winning many games.
Any games? What do you mean?
I said I didn't have them winning many games.
Oh, many games.
I had them around 7 or 8 wins. That's not a good season at all. And
I'm
I think that they would get that if they had Mac.
They're looking like a 5-6.
Without Mac, yeah.
Yeah.
I would hope so. If you're
I don't wish
your first string
injury
quarterback.
on anyone. It was sad to see Mac go down. It was. But I'm just saying, like, all in all, you guys didn't make any offseason moves. Like,
but that's not the everyone's like blowing that out of proportion. When the Patriots were winning Super Bowls, they weren't making big offseason moves. They won through coaching and having a very good quarterback.
Well, I'm sorry you brought in Devontae Parker.
Devontae Parker stinks.
Yeah. Stinks.
But that was more about coaching. They brought in Matt Patricia, and Matt Patricia's like, "Oh, I really like Devontae Parker. Let's bring him in." If they had Josh McDaniels this year, they're still a 10-win team. If you just had Josh McDaniels' offense,
I would adjust to like 8, but
they would be a 9 or 10-win team. I'm sticking to that, 100%, because the offense would be so much better this year. Mac would be hovering around 30 touchdowns this year if you just kept McDaniels, because he was comfortable in that system. The system worked.
I agree with that.
He used Hunter Henry perfectly. He used Kendrick Bourne perfectly. Him and Mac were on the same page. You see Mac Jones' deep ball this year? It's been money. His deep ball's been money. It's just been his decision-making in the red zone because the offense stinks.
Yeah.
It's awful. The play calling's been a joke. I can't stand what they're doing in New England. I would take... I don't even know. It's been abysmal. It's been an absolute disaster. They need Josh back. That's my main takeaway.
You know, if you guys lose this week, we win this week, as in the Jets. Figure we win the week.
The Pats are still going to finish higher than the Jets. It's just because the Jets are that bad.
We better.
It's not. The Jets stink.
They will.
We better.
The Jets aren't a good football team. They're not. They're still growing.
What did I ask you the other day about Belichick? What was that question I asked you? I said, like, about him getting fired or something, and like how many more years, and how would you feel about it?
No, I said if they look like horrendous, which they have, and they just get so if they miss the playoffs and they look horrendous in the process, because there's a difference between going 9-8 and missing the playoffs, but there's also a difference between that and going like 5-12. And I'm aware that Mac's gonna be out, and you're not gonna win many games with your franchise quarterback out. But this staff that he has hired, things just can't go on like this. And I think Kraft's done dealing with Bill's shit. So I think he will get fired at the end of the year if they go like 5-12. And I think he should.
So, real quick,
it happens. It happens with head coaches.
Do we have breaking news, Aiden?
Not breaking, but sort of. The NFLPA says it will pursue every legal option as it investigates TUA'S injury.
Yeah, they're screwed.
If he should.
And you know what? You know what's funny about them too? They don't have a 2023 first-round draft pick either.
Yeah, they've already been caught, and
that's a shady organization.
Yeah,
very shady,
very shady. Now,
but going back to Bill,
and what do you think about if the Pats
Ben,
miss
close
the playoffs?
Close off the Bill.
Going back to Bill,
if the Pats miss the playoffs,
you see it all the time, and it's really not a knock against Bill. You just age out, right? Like, he's too old-fashioned. He's not adapting to the NFL the way it's run right now. You need to win with... The game has become receivers and a passing game. And Bill has no receivers on his team. None. And his coaching staff is a joke. Joe Judge and Matt Patricia are running your offense. That's pathetic.
No, it is pathetic.
That is pathetic.
It's a joke.
I'm done watching it. You're ruining Mac Jones' development. Guy was phenomenal last year. All of a sudden, he looks like he can't complete a fucking 5-yard pass. Like, what are you doing? And how do you not look at that and be like, oh, I might be doing something wrong?
And then
how do you not see that?
Well, then
I would take Josh McDaniels as their head coach next year than Bill Belichick.
So that's what I'm saying. So
because I think that Josh would actually hire a good coaching staff. I think Josh would reach out to Brian Flores and say, hey, do you want to come be our defensive coordinator? Actually hire people who are qualified to do their job. Like, actually hire people who are in the field that they are coaching. If Matt Patricia can't even coach a defense, and he's a defensive specialist.
If the Raiders,
why are you trusting a guy like that to coach an offense? What are we doing?
If the Raiders are 1-5,
you're ruining your young coaches. You're ruining your young quarterback's development.
Yeah,
a guy who made a Pro Bowl in his first year, had a top 10 rookie season of all time at the quarterback position. And you're just shitting all over it.
No, they.
What are you doing?
Everything you just said, I completely back.
And here's the worst part. I don't think Mac would care if Bill got fired. I think he would honestly prefer it.
He's got other things. He's too busy doing DUIs and stuff. So I think if
all right, that was Bama. That was at Bama.
I think he would prefer being in an offense and a team
I think Mac would prefer
that has a young, offensive-minded head coach.
I think Mac would prefer, regardless of how the Raiders have looked, I think Mac would prefer Josh McDaniels being the head coach of this team than Bill Belichick right now. And I wouldn't blame him.
It's funny seeing the Pats fans like this. I've never seen you guys like this, like ever.
No, it's kind of sad. It'll be a sad day when Bill gets fired, for me personally.
It's a sad day. It's a bad day.
I'll be very sad. I might shed a few tears.
I think you're about to shed a few tears right now.
No, I'm not that worked up. I'm worked up, but not that worked up.
Unless any of you guys have something to touch on, I think we hit everything.
No, just
we're still early in the year, but hopefully Brian Hoyer goes on an MVP run.
I'm just done
Pat's
watching
offense
it.
turns it around.
I'm done watching it. The worst part is he's not acknowledging any wrongdoing. That's the bad part. You can fuck up, right? Like, you can mess up, have a bad season, acknowledge you were wrong. Just acknowledge you were wrong. And he's never done that, so why would he do that now?
He won't.
Because he's been given, rightfully so, he's been given the leeway of, listen, you're the greatest coach of all
let me
time.
Let me go on a little bit of a rant, because on this Bill thing again, I'm kind of tired of consistently he tries to outsmart everyone. Bill always outsmarting, and I get it.
Well, he does outsmart.
Well, he does it in the past.
He doesn't try. He does.
Yeah, but you know what he doesn't? You know what doesn't do anything? When he's doing this stuff with Mac. Mac's day to day. Mac is day to day. Nobody's day to day. He's day to day. Oh, he's gonna try for this week. No, he's not. He's not playing this week. There's zero shot he plays this week.
No.
They were talking about surgery and 4 to 8 weeks. They were talking about 6 to 8.
That thing I sent you, was that edited when Mac?
No, that's him. No, that was actually him. And then
he over and over and over.
No, he actually said that 12 times in a press conference.
He
actually said that.
And then Bill also said it a couple times. It's ridiculous. You're not outsmarting anyone by trying to convince that Mac's going to play. And if Mac did play this week, we'd lose 100-0 because he wouldn't be able to stand.
It's his throwing ankle. He's launching off of that foot. He's launching off the foot, and Bill's trying to act like he's going to play. If he played, he'd throw 5 picks, and it wouldn't even be his fault.
He threw 3. And on one of them was on the injury. He'd throw like 9 if he was playing. And plus, he was literally crying, getting carried out of basically crying. I don't know if he was.
He wasn't crying, but it's
screaming.
Okay, first of all,
getting carried out. He's in pain. He cannot play this week. So stop saying he's day to day. You're lying. Nobody believes you, and you're not outsmarting anyone, Bill.
Okay,
right?
So the ideal scenario for me, because to me, given the state of the Patriots, it's not even about them winning games at this moment over the next few years. It's not even about winning games and like making a Super Bowl run. It's about developing Mac.
Yeah.
And the best way to do that is you bring back Josh McDaniels as your head coach. To me, that's the perfect way to do it. Because A, he loves the guy, loves Josh McDaniels. They were on the same page the entire year. You could tell that Josh loved Mac.
And he was hurt by him leaving.
Yeah.
By Mac was.
So to me, it's either. I don't see Bill staying and bringing back Josh as a coordinator. If he were to do that, I'd be like, fine. That's perfect. But I don't see Bill as the kind of guy to acknowledge his wrongdoing, because he's never been that. And that would be such an ego hit for him to be like, oh my God, I ruined this offense and I'm ruining the development of our young quarterback, so I have to bring back the guy that I let go to Las Vegas and coach the team.
He wouldn't let that happen to his ego.
No, he wouldn't.
The worst part.
He wouldn't. And that's, to me, why we're at a stalemate.
And what caused us to lose a Super Bowl, in my opinion, against the Eagles, it was, in my
stubbornness and not playing Malcolm Butler.
It was Malcolm Butler and his ego, because what did he do? He came late to a meeting.
Well, there were a lot of rumors. I don't know if it's appropriate to get into
yes,
those,
I did. Okay.
There were a lot of rumors
knows,
as to why Malcolm didn't play.
Who really knows? If it is something like that, maybe. But like,
if we're going to touch upon that, your son's a horrible coach.
Yeah.
He sucks.
Talk about accountability. He's the first one to kick a running back literally out of the league, out of a job, because he fumbles one time out of 200 carries. But your son is allowing, 400 passing yards a game last year?
Yeah, it's
we
bad.
Get blown out by the Bills, and he's the safeties guy, and he's the defensive guy, and now what? Nothing happens? What is he like? I understand it's his son, but like, where's the accountability? Because you do it to everyone else, you expect it to happen here.
I'm a huge Josh McDaniels fan. I'm aware that the Raiders stink right now, and I'm sure that Josh has a part of that. He has to. He's the head coach. You can't take away accountability from him. He would be doing infinitely better with the Patriots right now than with the Raiders.
Yeah.
Because he understands that culture. He understands Mac.
It's less
they were on the same page.
Yeah.
He knows how to use everybody in that offense. And he would hire qualified people at their positions. And him and Kraft have a great relationship. Mm-hmm. A great relationship. Kraft loves McDaniels. Kraft cannot stand Belichick.
Yeah. And I think it's gonna come to a head within this next season.
And McDaniels, on top of that, McDaniels has a history of being a snake and getting out of contracts early. He was going to go to Indy and then didn't do it.
Of course.
So I think he would screw over Vegas and come to New England, and I'm all for it.
Well, we'll watch and see. We'll keep you guys updated with the Week 4 of NFL as it happens throughout. Make sure to follow us on Instagram, YouTube, TikTok, Twitter, Spotify, Apple Podcasts, literally everything.
I would
Tipsy
literally,
Tailgate Media.
I would give up a first-round pick to bring McDaniels back.
You're still on.
I'm still on.
We're doing Benny. We're doing plugs right now.
I don't care.
We're doing plugs.
I am too. I am too.
He's plugging.
I'm representing the Patriots.
Leave the Patriots alone.
No, no, not until they start winning some ball games.
You should go on to Madden and get Josh McDaniels as your head coach as the Patriots and see if you would do any better.
No.
You got better things to do?
Got better things to do with my life.
With that said, I think that's it for us. We are Tipsy Tailgate Media, and this was the Tipsy Tailgate Podcast. I'm Aiden.
I'm Ben.
I'm Sal. Let's go Mets.
Yeah, go Mets.
yeah,
I'm
let's
rooting
go
for the
Mets.
Mets. Let's go Mets.
go Mets.
It's
Let's
all
go Mets.
about the Mets, baby.
Screw the Yankees. Let's go Mets.
Oh my God, I hate the Yankees.
We are the anti-Yankee podcast.
I hate the Yankees more than I hate Bill right now.
We really are the anti-Yankee podcast.
Yeah, Yankees stink.
Yeah, not a fan.
Well, I mean, when you haven't won a championship
So
in over
good.
a decade, I think everybody should be
Mediocre.
anti-Yankees.
Yeah, literally they're
But
holding- they're
27 rings.
they're holding
27
you
rings.
back.
Well, you haven't won one
Yeah.
in over 13 years, and half of you haven't even seen them win one, so shut up.
Exactly.
I mean,
I think that's a great way
Let's
to
be
end it.
honest.
Thanks for watching. Thanks for listening. If you listened on Spotify, YouTube, or Apple Podcasts, let us know how you did, how you liked it. Let us know on YouTube what you thought of the cameras and this setup. We're going to be bringing more Fridays consistently. And thanks for listening, and we'll see you guys next time.
See ya.
Peace.